is Jennifer Nichole here, and here's Jamie, my little sister, with her gorgeous locks. I'm going to be showing you a few simple hairstyles, so if you want to see how to do those, then just keep watching. Okay, so we are here at the back of her hair. You just want to make sure that everything is combed and brushed through. And then you're going to take circular section at her crown. It doesn't have to be completely perfect, but it will show a little bit, so you want it to be as symmetrical as possible. And then you're just going to comb that through and then put it in a high ponytail. Okay, so we have this ponytail. If you look right here, here is her part. She has a fair amount of hair in the front. So she has all of these sections right here that are pretty thick. If you want the crown to sit right on top of their head, which is really cute for little girl hairstyles, take the ponytail, take this whole section, and it'll make a crown just right in the front. But we're going to wrap this around the back of her head, which I feel like looks better and more age appropriate. Okay, so getting started, we're just taking this top piece right here. So then what you do is you take two sections right here, and then you're going to take one from the ponytail, and you're just going to, and then once again, just grabbing some hair from this side, holding it together, grabbing a piece from this side. I like to grab my pieces and then braid, but you can grab your piece, braid one side, and then braid the other. It's just really a preference thing. And then you just continue doing this all across the head, working in sections, and you want to try to keep the size of the sections you're taking pretty even, especially from the ponytail, because you will see those sections all across the hair. And so the more even it is, and just the more even and symmetrical and beautiful it will look. And then I'm just going to have her tilt her head down so that we can continue in this circular motion. And just remember, you can always turn the person. Having them a little bit further away from you is really nice in creating that tension. So if the person has a lot of layers, Jamie doesn't have any layers, which makes this much easier. But if the person has a lot of layers, you can still do it. You just need to take some pomade or anything to really stick that hair together. And it might be a little bit harder to incorporate in the braid, but it will be a little bit easier if you smooth out that hair first. So at the bottom here against her neck, you can tend to get a little bit of that droopiness through her neckline. So I'm really tugging that hair to really make sure that she doesn't have any of those little flyaways or baby hairs hanging down. So you just want to be careful with how much you take from the ponytail. You want to try to keep an even amount, because you want to be able to have enough when you get towards the top of her head. You don't want to run out of hair in the ponytail, or else you're not going to be able to complete that crown. So once again, I'm just going to turn her chair so that she is a little bit away from me. Okay, and then you just keep going. You can put your head up a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to finish this up, and then I will show you what it looks like when you get all the way to the top. Okay, so I just put in the last pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to twist that last piece in, and then we're going to just braid this as a normal 3-strand braid. So you just braid and put that at the ends of her hair. And then what you have right here is you have this little pocket where it starts. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this braid, and it's going to fit into this pocket so that it will be a continuous braid. So what you're going to do is you're going to take it and stick it in these pieces that you pulled from the ponytail. Okay, so taking a few bobby pins, once you get it about where you want, I just like to tack it in so that when she moves, if it's like a dance rehearsal or if they're just a little girl playing all day, you want to be able to make sure that it stays still. So then you're just going to continue threading this little piece through so that you can completely hide the ends. Her hair is really long, so it's going to go basically around her whole head. Somebody with shorter hair, it's not going to go as much. And if it is really too long, you can just tuck it underneath and just pin it in place underneath there, which is what I'm going to do here. So I found this little piece, plastic elastic right here, so I'm just going to pin that into her braid. And then I'm going to take the ends and I'm just going to tuck them back through and then pin them in all the way as well. So as you can tell, this braid is completely continuous around her head. So I just like to go through and add a few finishing touches. Now right here is a gap where the pieces of the ponytail don't come, because this is the 3-strand braid. So what I like to do is I like to take just about half of one piece and just pin it next to that braid so that you don't see as much of a gap in between the hair strands. So we're going to pin a few places, just tighten everything up, add a little bit of hairspray, and we'll show you everything, what it looks like in the front and just the finished result. And then here's the back. It just wraps in a circle around the braid. It could be a little bit more even, and if you get these like fallout things, you can always pin those up a little bit. But that is the finished result. Okay, so for this hairstyle, what we're going to do is we're just going to start. But first I'm going to start off, and I'm just going to take one ponytail, and you're going to do a loop through with your ponytail. So you do want to keep a little bit of a gap in between so that you don't run into any issues. Okay, so I have a little bit of space here in between the ponytail. I'm just going to stick my finger through. If you have a loop through tool, you can use that as well. I'm just going to take this and pinch the ponytail through and bring it all the way in a loop. And then I'm just going to tighten that, and I just have that one piece right here. Okay, so now that we have this front section, we're going to have her hold that. Then we're going to take these back pieces, just take another section of hair. I like to take those sections in a little bit of an angle because I find that the parts are easier to hide that way. And now I'm just going to smooth it out and put it in a ponytail. And this ponytail I won't be pulling through, I'm just putting it in a regular ponytail. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this front section that she's holding and having her let go of that. I'm going to divide it into two pieces, and then I'm going to have her hold this back section. Then I'm going to take that front section, clamp it together, and then place a ponytail right there. So we're going to turn you to the side a little bit so you can see better what's going on here. Okay, so now we're just going to pause on those and move forward onto the third section. I'm going to take this back piece that I just attached, and I'm going to incorporate that into the ponytail. And then, once again, I'm going to take this top section here, split it in half, and then put it in the back side of this ponytail. And then you're just going to continue all the way down like that. So I will show you again. So taking the next section, just going to smooth it out and place it in a ponytail. Then taking the top section, splitting it in half, and putting it underneath this ponytail. And if this keeps falling down, you can always have them hold the top section, just whatever you need to do to make it easier. Or if they're too little to hold the piece, you can always pin it with a clip. You just want to make sure it's a clip that's loose and won't dent the hair that you're working with. So now, again, just taking this section, and I'm just going to include that ponytail. And then, once again, taking the top and splitting it in half and putting it underneath. Again, it's just a very repetitive process, just doing each strand over and over, and then we're just going to finish this up, and I will show you what we do after that. So we finished it all, and now I'm just going to show you what we're going to do, and then I'll show you what to do with the bottom. So what you're going to do is you're going to take these pieces that are in the sides, and you're just going to pull those out a little bit and fluff them up. So you're just fluffing them so that you get a lot of volume and thickness. It'll make her look like she has loads and loads of hair. She does have a lot of hair, but
not thick hair though.
Yeah, it makes it look really thick. Jamie has a lot of hair, but her individual hair strands are kind of thin. So you will see a little bit of parting, where if you have really thick hair, you're not going to see that, but you can always pin it and just kind of smooth it out. So we're just going to spray some hairspray, go through with our comb, and just smooth everything in. Okay, so for the bottom of the hair, you have several options. You can take all of this extra hair, roll it up, and you just have like a little bun right here so that the look is really continuous. You can take it and you can braid the hair, which is what I think we're going to do right now. And then the braid will create a lot of fullness to this. And then I'm going to put it into a bun so that it's a little bit more full than just tucking the hair underneath. And it will stay placed a little bit better. So now I'm going to go through with the braid and just kind of fluff it up like I did with the rest of the hair. Put your head up a little bit so you can see. And then we're just going to roll the braid, making sure the tips of the hair are really well concealed. And then we're just going to pin it in place. So you just want to pin however many you need to just make sure that it's really secure. Okay, and that is the finished result. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to take a part right down basically the center of her head. I'm doing a little bit off-centered, and then you can do completely centered or more off to the side. You want it to be mostly centered in order to have an even amount of hair. And then we're going to smooth out this side. But if you do really like a very angle or very to the side part, what you can do is you can just take an angled parting so that you end up with the same amount of hair on each side. So now I'm just going to clip this hair off to the side as we work on this side. So a very important key to this look is you want the hair to be very, very smooth so that everything just looks really nice. You don't want any flyaways, you want it to just be very smooth. So we're going to take hairspray. Again, this is a very flexible hairspray, one that you can comb through and kind of just everything through and smooth everything out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a section across the whole top of her head. I mean, obviously with practice you'll be able to get those down, but this is one of the absolute easiest hairstyles. So you're just going to take it, you're going to split the hair in half, and then you're just going to twist it around itself. Now for this top piece, I like to twist it a few times just so that it doesn't unravel on me. And then I'm going to move on to this next section. So I'm just going to smooth it out and add it to this piece as if I were to braid, but I'm just doing 2 pieces instead of 3. Okay, so now that I have those on each side, I'm just going to twist those together. And then I'm going to take this front piece and this back piece, add it to my twists, and then once again just twist the hair together. So super easy. You're just adding the pieces of hair to your original section and then just twisting the hair, and you can keep it in really large sections, which is really nice. And then I'm just going to twist it all the way down. And this hairstyle really reminds me of like Star Wars or Princess Leia or something. I really like it. You'll see what I'm talking about. So you just keep twisting it. Okay, and now the hair will kind of naturally start to twist. So you just let it twist the way that it wants to and wrap it in this little bun. And then I just like to take and make sure the ends are smooth so that we don't see those. Make sure that it is focused on those ends because you want to obviously make sure it's not going to unravel. And then you just have this little like pom-pom thing going on. And it's just a nice little twist. So now we're going to move on to this side. Dividing it in half, twisting it. Again, twisting the top one a few times. Okay, so once again, taking the back section, adding a little bit into that back twist, and then the front into the front twist, and then you're going to take both of those and you're just going to twist them together.
It's like a French braid.
Yeah, it's like a French braid with 2 strands instead of 3, so it makes it way easier. Okay, and then just twisting the very bottom. And I like to make this a really tight twist because that way it will naturally twist kind of into a bun and just a little bit of help, making a nice little knot in the hair. So you can let them just kind of like hang like this, or you can take them and you can just kind of pull them apart and pin them up, which I think we're going to pin them up for her. I like to, again, it really kind of depends on the age. With little tiny girls that are like between the age probably 2 and 5, I really like, or maybe even 7, I like that little like when they move their head and flops around. I think it's really cute. So it really just kind of depends on the look that you're going for. Okay, so now it is all pinned in, and this is what it looks like. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and Jamie for letting me use her sensitive head to show you guys some beautiful hairstyles. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.